Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get it. Let's talk Monday Night Football. I'm Mark. Welcome back to TBM Sports. For all of you that are not subscribed, make sure you guys all do so below. We had a great weekend in the college and pros, getting it done ATS and with some of the totals. We did hit a lot of the props yesterday as well within the NFL. And we're going to get into Monday Night Football tonight because this is probably a game in terms of viewership and entertainment. It will be a lot better than what we had with that little dud we had, I think, last night outside of kind of, Justin Jefferson doing his own in the Vikings. It was kind of a weird game with the Colts and Vikings. I didn't love it. It was one of those ones as well where you just kind of wonder where the hell the Colts were getting some respect. A lot of respective bettors were on the Colts. And that's something where Joe Flacco taking over definitely changed that narrative. But anyways, we had a good day yesterday. Great day Saturday as well within college. Mopped up. I hope you guys were all along for the ride. If you want to get back to the channel, you'd like free picks, become a channel member today at TBM. There is a link down below in the description. And join us over on the Discord and the Twitter page, which is all free. Okay, let's get into it. I am going to share with you guys these picks and my breakdown for this game using Outlier. This is probably my favorite sports betting tool and information platform I guess I use outside of some deeper metrics where you talk about like zone coverage, man coverage, all that stuff. It really does go down the rabbit hole if you want to. A lot of those don't really encompass betting too much, but for football knowledge, it does give us a look. This is more so to find the best bet possible. And as we look into this game tonight, Tampa Bay will be getting 9.5 on the road. So this is a very interesting number. A lot of people probably have teaser legs still open and waiting on this last leg to come home. Tampa Bay taking them down, plus, you could get plus 15.5, 6 points up, or you could obviously have Kansas City anywhere from -3 to -4. So it's very interesting to see this game kind of unfold. Tampa Bay looking to hand Kansas City their first loss on the season, and we do get a total set at 45.5. Now, this is one where, guys, I know the primetime unders, the cash rate is there. It's been very profitable throughout the course of the season. This is a game, though, where I would like to potentially buck the trend. I could see some points in this one. However, I will tell you guys this. When we talk about Tampa Bay, and this is where I'm going to show you guys this, Tampa Bay in their last or Tampa Bay is 30% to the under 45.5. So Tampa Bay historically has been a home team. If we look at them on the road, it's the same storyline. However, Kansas City is 50-50 in terms of cashing overs or unders. It depends where you get the number, right? These take the closing number, closing value. So when you look at historical trends against the spread, I don't always buy that because if I bet it earlier in the week and I get the best of the number, then I'm not going to show up here on this page, and Kansas City might be 70% to the under using that same logic. Okay. But this is kind of where we look on the season without dating back to last year. They are 4-3 on the season thus far. As we look into kind of Kansas City with the under, and quite frankly, guys, I think 45 is right where it needs to be. I don't think it's going to be something where we look into overthink this one too much. I think Tampa Bay, they're going to be really struggling, I think, from a perspective where all they have is Cade Otton, Jalen McMillan, and Rashad White. Okay. Yeah, I know there's a couple other guys, but still they're missing Godwin, Evans. And then on the other side of the football, we do have Kansas City playing outstanding defense led by Steve Spagnuolo. And I think that, the more one-dimensional you are, the more teed up it is for him to get to the quarterback. Baker Mayfield, obviously, if you've ever watched him, I know he's having a rebound year, probably maybe even comeback player of the year in some people's eyes. But I don't think that he's going to be able to stand tall against this Kansas City Chiefs team that at home, they really do excel. And it's important to understand, though, that when Tampa Bay does face teams with top 10 scoring defenses, such as the Kansas City Chiefs, where if you want to go down and look into this matchup, this KC defense is third in scoring, okay? And you have to understand they're going against a Buccaneers team that has a lot of numbers where 29.4 in their scoring per game. However, like I said, Evans and Godwin out definitely does change that narrative. So I do think this is an under game. Like I said, I know it looks like it's teed up to the over, but I'm going to have to say not so fast. I'm going to rely on the Kansas City defense at home and Todd Bowles, obviously, knows how to play Mahomes. If you go back to the Super Bowl, where Kansas City really struggled. I know there was a lot of linemen at stake, and it was a different narrative where Mahomes had to run for his life, but still knows how to get after the quarterback. At Kansas City, they are just playing chess when everyone's playing checkers. And the funny thing is, everybody kind of discredits them in terms of winning another Super Bowl because they're not scoring points like they should be. Right? They have all these high flying, um, you know, players. They got skill players out the wazoo. You have to understand something. They're playing down Rice, down Pacheco, and they're bringing in new pieces as they evolve. This is a 17-game season. They'll be ready come playoffs when it gets to freezing temperatures in in Arrowhead, and they're going to be having home field advantage. Okay, we've seen it time and time again. So the biggest storyline here, though, guys, is they're playing chess when everyone's playing checkers, and that's where they know the recipe, they know the formula. They don't have to make it look flashy, and they're going to get to January unscathed. That's just kind of how they do it. I mean, it's pretty much like they're toying with people. And if they wanted to, and you gave Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid $10 million tomorrow, they could score 55. Okay. It's just not the style of football they're playing. It's so methodical. It's getting into that New England-esque kind of coaching. And I think that's something where you look at Andy Reid and, surefire Hall of Famer, undoubted. But I do think, though, one of their biggest flaws is, yes, he does keep his guys kind of, I guess you would say, the morale is never really in question with him. But my biggest problem with them is I think they get a little too cute. They overthink things a little bit too. So it does work both ways. One thing with Kansas City, and you can see this right here, guys, when you talk about red zone efficiency, I don't really believe in that Kansas City number at 8. Okay. I've seen time and time again too much screwing around down there inside the 10. And I think that's the one area that I'd like to see Kansas City really improve upon is just going smash mouth, getting in the end zone and taking care of business when you get inside the 10. Okay. Kansas City, though, 5-0 against bottom 10 scoring defenses. That's kind of where you look at this Tampa Bay club, and I will pull this up for you guys right here. 27th in scoring defense. So Kansas City is 5-0 on the money line, and that is why we're seeing such a juicy minus 9.5 number or the spread. And then the money line, obviously, minus 425. The Buccaneers are in 75% against their spread going on the road, so a very strong road team. However, this is going to be a game where we kind of go into that narrative where, hey, everybody gave Tampa Bay all the keys to the castle when they were playing Baltimore. How'd that work out? So, that's kind of where I'm at with my handicap. I think Kansas City rolls. I think they steamroll them, though. 9.5 is not something that I'm looking to get into. I think the best play that we can make here in this game would be a same game teaser where we take Kansas City down to minus 3.5. And for all you guys that wonder, that's about minus 120, minus 130. And you couple that with the under 45.5. That's been kind of one of my tried and true methods for betting primetime spots is taking the same game teasers where we do make a play on the under, and as well as we get the right side of the spread. Now, the biggest thing to talk about here, this is, odds makers know this. Okay, Baker Mayfield's gotten a lot of credit, as well as that Tampa Bay club, and I could really just guarantee you one thing: the public side will be diving in on the 9.5. They're begging people to not take the Kansas City Chiefs in this, and that's just kind of how I've interpreted it within the line moving throughout the week, as well as the betting trends that we're seeing here with the splits and just how the money's moving. I can just tell you guys one thing: Tampa Bay will be the public side. And now in primetime games, especially any game that there is only one game of the day, there will be sharps on both sides. I'm just going to let you guys know that this is one of those spots where I don't like to lay a big number, but I do think Kansas City is the right side if you're just going to play sheer numbers. Okay. Next, I want to talk to you guys about some of the bets I'll be making. These are in the proposition market. This will be first one, Kareem Hunt. He gets in the end zone, I think, undoubtedly in this game. We look at kind of one of the best bets out there. Okay. He scored in essentially every single game that he has been back, except one, even 2 scores against a San Francisco ball club where I think this is where we get close to the marker. And I think that Kareem Hunt is their bell cow at the goal line. And I just hope that they actually rely on that instead of doing some, 4th and 1 play action to the tackle that's reports as eligible. That's what I'm talking about. Can't be doing that. Okay. But as we look into kind of some of the bigger numbers here in the red zone, look at that rush attempt share, courtesy of Outlier. One of my favorite things to do here when we're about anytime touchdown props. Kareem Hunt getting 46.2% of the red zone rush share, 18 red zone rush attempts. That's good enough for me. So we're going to go into the Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown as one of my best bets. Okay. And that is a actually juicy number. -104 is out there in the market. Something I really truly love. Okay. Also, conversely, if you do think Kansas City has some steam and gets out from ahead, since Mike Evans and Chris Godwin have been out, two players on Tampa Bay that have been benefactors in entirety has been Rachaad White and Cade Otton. Now, Cade Otton here is going to be one we're going to talk about next, but Rachaad White on the other hand, 71 yards against Baltimore in a very similar game script, right? Playing catch up. Um, they're coming after you. You have to get the ball out quick. Dump offs will be in play. Rachaad White up to 25 yards receiving, 24.5. We're taking the over at -110. One of my favorite bets as well on this card. Last week against Atlanta, okay, they were able to get 38 in a game where Atlanta ended up winning 31-26. He had 38 receiving yards. So another prop that I do love. We look at kind of the targets that we've had for Rachaad White out of the backfield. And I'll show you guys this. We've had six receptions, 5 receptions in the last 2 games that we've played in. I think that continues tonight, and he is kind of streaky, very athletic out of the backfield. So I do think that's a very strong, I don't want to say lock of the day. I never say that, but you guys like to all put the lock emojis down below in the comments. But Rachaad White is firmly in play and one of my favorite bets of the evening. And then the last bet we are going to talk about, and I will show you guys this just so it provides a graphic, but you really don't need it. We're going Cade Otton. It's pretty much cut and dry for me, and we're not going to get too cute on this one tonight. We look at Cade Otton receiving yards, and it's the same kind of storyline, guys. 49.5 is -130. Last 2 games, I know the one was on tight end day against, believe it was Atlanta. Yeah, last Saturday or last Sunday in October. But he had 181 yards since basically we got to look at these last 5. These 2 games right here is when Godwin and Evans have been out. You can see the targets. We'll look at the target share receptions. It's 10-10 up from 9, 4, and 6. And if you guys were like me and drafted him in every one of your leagues, I'm in a tight end heavy fantasy league. This was something where it was no surprise. He was getting the targets before. They have a great connection. And I think now, this is where we look at a middle of the pack Kansas City defense against a tight end. The only thing that worries me is that he becomes that, bell cow. But I think that and they eventually take him away in the second half, that's possible. But I think Steve Spagnuolo sticks to his guns. They get after the quarterback. Baker Mayfield's going to look for short drop-offs right over the middle, 5 to 10 yard quick passes, just keep the pressure off them. So that's why we're targeting Cade Otton and Rachaad White. Important to know that the routes that Cade Otton does run have been with some distance. So that's something to take in consideration. But we're going over 49.5 receiving. Also, if we want to look at receptions, 8 and 9 respectively, the number set at 4.5 right now is way too low. So I'm going over 4.5 Cade Otton receptions as well. So that's kind of where we're at. I do like I said, I am on the side of Kansas City. If you guys want to get cute and you want to go first quarter, fine. I like that too. But for me, guys, this one's pretty much cut and dry. We are going to go KC and the under in a same game teaser. You guys can manipulate that, do whatever you want in that metric. But I do like KC for the full game. But my best play in this game, honestly, is going to be the under. That's what we're going to fall in love with. That's going to be my best bet. I think that's the one that's staring us right there in the face at 45.5. If you want to find a under 46, great. But I'm not going to fall victim to what we have go on in the primetime spots where we do get the this big primetime matchup. Everybody tunes in and you're looking there, you're waiting on overs. And then all of a sudden we get a dud in the first quarter, and then you're trying to live bet and it's just too late and the number's gone out of control. So I also like to scoop up under in primetime games. And then we always have the opportunity to cash out. jump ship, if you will, and then we can evaluate later on in the game. But I do like to open up a position for the under early on before the game starts, because that way, if we do get a 3-0, 0-0, 6-0 score or even 7-0 for that matter in the first quarter, it gives us some flexibility to see where the game's headed at. But I do like to open up that position before the game starts off. So that's where I'm at. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't done so, make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe. Those are my best bets. And as always, guys, we'll see you over on Discord, and hit me up on X if you guys have any winners. I'd like to see all those lottery tickets you guys cash. And those are fun. Those are fun. I was one leg away yesterday from having a big one, little 30-1 with $200. So that would have been a great way to end off that Sunday. But I digress. Let's win some money tonight. Let's cash some tickets, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Good luck.